He knows.
All right, what is up, YouTube? How's it going?
What's
We
up?
are live. We're a little bit late to the party, but just a little, just a wee bit.
I told everyone 3-ish. It's 3:40.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
is it really that much later?
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, we never said we were professionals. We just said that we were trying.
Yeah, about 3. I think I said on Twitter like around 3.
I deleted that post because that was just such garbage, and I made a better one.
Yeah, it was a bad post.
You're like, I think we'll start at 3-ish today,
Yeah,
guys.
that
Thanks.
wasn't good.
And I was like, delete. And I was like, attention.
Tried to make
We
it.
will be going live on YouTube 3:30.
Yeah, I figured you could probably use some emojis and all that. After I sent it, I was like, nah, I'm not going back to it.
It was hella weak, bro.
I figured it could use emojis.
I was like, Jake needs some help on this one.
Yep, no
That's
doubt.
awesome.
And I had to proofread it like 4 times. I was like, is everything grammatically correct?
Dang. All right, you guys ready to actually start the thing?
Start the thing?
The
start
thing,
the
what
thing.
thing?
I don't know, the thing that we're here for.
The thing.
What are we here
We're
for?
here for the speed.
What are we here for?
The speed.
When do we want it?
The speed.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
no.
we are literally dumb.
All right.
I
let me
genuinely
make
kind
sure
of forgot some of those.
This is a really bad time to bring that up.
I'm sorry. I'm going to need to replay it in my head.
We don't have that much time, Matt.
All right, we'll see about 2 hours.
Just,
Hold
see
on.
my eyes twitching.
Hold on. Watch it at 10 times speed. You know something I was thinking about that would be really weird? You know how sometimes if you look to try to watch stuff that's being streamed that's not supposed to be streamed, and sometimes they'll do things like mirror image or
Yeah.
something. I was thinking, what if someone mirror imaged a NASCAR race?
Okay.
That would be so confusing.
If we go to a track twice, why can't the second time we go the opposite direction?
Just
Why
to mess with
not?
people.
It's like that meme. It's like, why not? Why? No.
That's actually. Did you read the Kuzman
It
question?
doesn't make sense.
No.
No.
Oh,
He-
that's
Oh,
said-
yeah. It's probably
his
on
question
Twitter.
was,
I don't
which tracks deserve 2 races?
Well, all right.
The ones that go backwards.
I'm just saying. It could be interesting. They start going the other way.
Would be a
I
little interesting.
guess.
All right, let's do this.
What?
The Bristol night race has ended, and so has the first round of the playoffs. Surprising drivers make it, and others are out early. Let's talk about why we're here for the speed. What is up, guys? My name is DJ. I'm the here for the speed. It is a day later. We had some stuff going on, so the speed was supposed to be up today.
I didn't plan it in my head. Local Brad Keselowski fan.
Yeah, Brad let me
There
down
you go.
this week. I picked
What are
the
you
wrong.
talking about?
I
He's
picked
great.
I picked the wrong RFK car.
They don't. Yeah, I picked both. So
I picked,
Of course you did.
I got Busher too.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brad, he finished what, 8th?
I'd have to say the only pick I could have done better with the whole week was swapping Brad for Bell. That would have.
Bell was.
I probably
insane.
would have hit 200 points this week.
Bell was something. I'll tell you who another one though. Did anyone think about Larson dead last to basically leading
I
for
knew
a
that
while?
was gonna happen.
I figured he'd, but I was just
starts dead last. I'm like,
That's
I'll
pretty
pick
par for the
that one.
course.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
I mean, when you the
I mean,
way
if
our
you watch practice.
well, I mean, the way
Was
our
that-
fantasy league works, we can pick anybody 21st and back. We pick one driver. Well, out of everyone that started 21st and back, Kyle Larson's in there. It's like, gee, I wonder who I'm going to pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I mean there was honestly.
literally,
I think Hocevar started back there too. He would have been a solid.
dude,
pick.
he was doing great.
Holy.
Until he got that loose wheel.
I mean, yes, but is that all 100% his fault?
No, but it happens. It's part of
Yeah.
racing.
It is. But
I was-
man, he was showing that in a lot of ways, he was looking better than Noah out there.
Oh, he's smoking. No, it's not even close.
It's bad.
It was
it's-
funny.
it's
I was
really
watching qualifying, and Kyle Larson got loose in the 4. I was like, ha, it's going to be good for my picks because I knew he was going to start super late, super far behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
works. So, what'd you guys have going on this week? Anything crazy?
Nothing too crazy. Just work and school, and as per usual, and watched a lot of sports. So
A lot of sports.
Jake, how's
pretty
your
much it.
sports outlook look right now?
Rough, bro. Let me tell you.
got trashed on.
We started with Dale
Just-
Jr. catching on fire. 20 laps to go, looking fast. That was rough.
Dude, he was looking good,
Why you
though.
why you clapping about Dale Jr. being on fire?
I'm not
That's rude,
clapping.
bro.
I'm
That's
just
hella
just,
rude.
just because it
Not on fire. Not on
just
fire.
because
Mickey
it's
Bobby.
upsetting to you.
Thanks. So that was one, and then Tennessee lost
man
to
while
the
he's
Gators. That was 2, and then Denny Hamlin won last night, so that makes 3 for
Bro, I'm
we have
sorry.
struck out.
I'm sorry, but the way he handled all the people booing
No, I love
cracked
it. Are
me
you kidding
up.
me?
That was hilarious. I beat your favorite driver, and then the guy's
He's like, "What do you
"Which
think
one?"
about the booze?" He's like, "I beat them all," or whatever. He said.
Yeah,
That
he was. I
awesome.
think he said, "I beat your favorite driver," and then the interviewer's
All
like,
of
"Which
them.
one?" And he's like, "All of them." And I'm just like,
honestly,
Classic.
"Yes,
Denny Hamlin
loved it."
is such a heel. I love it. He's taking the black hat and he's gonna wear it with pride. I love it, man. I like this. Like
Honestly, yeah.
I love to root against him. It's like that thing, right? So you like to. I don't know.
He
I
plays
love
the
add
villain
it.
very, very well.
It's just nice to see some personality. Which I mean, versus Chase Elliott this weekend or last weekend after the race. You know, the whole
Yeah.
he was like they asked him what message were you trying to send when you doored
No message.
Kyle Larson's like, what message? Like, I'm over that. I'm over the fake crap, man.
Chicken crap, man.
Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, so
I
that was
like the real
Chicken
personality.
crap.
that was the thing.
what it
Like,
was,
yeah,
bro.
it was great to see that. I didn't see what was his driver intro. He said something, and they replayed it, but I couldn't hear it when I was watching it.
I missed it.
Okay, I don't know. It sounded like they were commenting about it.
I was
trying to
jumping
watch
between
college football and all
Tennessee.
that.
That's true. Yeah, you guys had the
jumping
game.
between it. It was rough.
Yeah,
We didn't really tune in until they started racing because of the rain delay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I was kind of between the game, the race, and working on
didn't
homework.
really care
so
about
I
the game.
kind of had
I just watched the race.
I kind of had all of it going on. So
Didn't have a dog in that fight. So
We had multiple TVs on everywhere, and we're trying to chase it all and watch everything. How about Alabama? Like, dude, almost lost to South Florida. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That was
Yeah.
another weather delay.
I feel like
dude, they got
is that the second?
stormed on.
Is that the second week in a row where Alabama's had like a really bad week?
They lost
Yeah.
last week to Texas.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's happening over there?
That the dynasty is over.
Is it over, or are they just having a rough
Can
year?
I just say, I was chilling at home, just going through college football. I was like, oh man, Alabama versus Texas. Texas is winning. I'm texting everyone like, bro,
Matt's
this is like a
Matt's
huge
dude,
upset.
you gotta watch this game. Alabama's
This
gonna
is
lose.
amazing.
I'm like,
And everyone's like, yeah, they lost. I'm like, yeah, it's right now. They're like 2 minutes left. And it's like, no, that was last week's game. And I was like, oh. And I went off, and it says live, and then in the smallest little abbreviation, re-air. I was like, I thought this was live. I thought this was
Not
like
the same thing.
entertaining. I was
Big
like, oh, this
mistake.
is- I didn't know it was a re-air. I was like, that's just false.
you even got me
advertisement.
because you get the way you even said the text, like, wow, I can't believe Alabama's gonna lose again or something like that. And I was like, whoa, what? And I started searching. I'm like, they don't play till 3. What are you talking about? And then we started putting it
And I'm
together.
sitting there, and I'm like, I think it's
That's
false
hilarious.
advertising. They can't say it's live if it's a re-air. That makes no sense.
No,
That should be illegal.
That was rude.
I'm with you there.
yeah, other than that, Matt and
So-
I got to catch up with some old homies, so that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, some old
that was
homies from
cool, man.
work.
We got to
so that
hang
was
out.
fun.
went to the beach. I went to the beach yesterday. That was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, obviously there was a hurricane out in the thing.
Yeah.
Very big seas, and there's also a storm surge. So we got there as high tide happened. So guess what?
You did not park on the
You
beach.
don't drive on the beach.
No.
I have people in my car that don't walk well. So we had to park at a little park area where they had like showers and bathrooms and stuff like that, and walk across the road, walk all the way down, carrying a tent, chairs,
Did you
all
go
the
to
stuff.
New Smyrna?
No, it was Daytona area, like
You
South
just-
Daytona.
You had the perfect
Okay.
Daytona day, didn't you?
I know.
It sounds amazing. You
Yeah.
had to walk the whole
Honestly,
way.
once we got down there, it was fine. It was literally the way we packed everything was because we park on the beach, so I don't need to worry about getting like a wagon or having everything together because it's like, well, we'll just get it from the car and
Universe
set it up.
told you no.
Yeah, basically. And I get there and they're like, it's going to be at least an hour and a half before this thing opens up, and I'm like, I'm not hanging around for an hour and a half. We're just going to find somewhere to park and we're just going to have to walk down. So that was kind of fun.
How much actual beach was there if it was high tide?
About-
I've seen it
about-
to where like
about-
the water hits the seawall.
We were up against some rocks that were the seawall, and the water was coming into our 10 by 10 tent
oh gosh.
when we first got there. Within like probably 30 minutes, to be honest, it was now down and stuff. It wasn't too bad, but yeah, it was fun, but it was just a little
If
bit
you,
of a
if you
struggle.
did not have family, would you have just turned around and went home?
No,
Really?
no, I'm already there.
I would have.
Nope.
I'd have been like, nope, it's just not our day.
No.
We're out.
No, I definitely wouldn't have done that. No, so
Was the water kind of dirty and nasty?
very sandy.
Yeah.
Very
Get all
sandy.
chewed up
Honestly,
and
well, so I will say this: the temperature was perfect, like nice and warm. Surprisingly,
good.
good time for that. But man, the waves. I'm not kidding. There was several waves that knocked me over, and I mean, I
That's
know.
the only time to go to the beach, man, when you got big waves.
Yeah, like there was several waves that were probably 5-6 feet, which is huge for our coast.
I remember that one time we went to Cocoa Beach with Parker and Stephanie.
Oh God. Yeah,
And we
I
had a
remember
few
too.
drinks, and the waves were so rough. We came out after about 20 minutes and felt like we just left a bar fight.
Yeah.
Bro, we almost crawled out of the water. Like,
That was
literally,
a heck of
the
a day,
water
man.
was
Getting
so
beat
rough.
up.
All right,
It was like going all the way to the shoreline, like 6 foot, and then just crushing, just boom.
Yeah, just
There
break
was like,
right
yeah,
on
it would
you.
just break, and then it was insane.
Oof.
big
Crazy.
goof. All right, so let's get talking about the playoff driver. So obviously, we talked a little bit about the race. The race itself, Bristol. I enjoyed Bristol. I was watching it. There was lots of good racing.
Best short track of the year.
I would say, yeah, it is.
Yeah, facts.
I liked how there was 2 lanes, and occasionally there was a third lane that suddenly just popped up randomly. There was like a random driver that tried to make a third lane. Usually didn't work, but there would be.
What do you
something.
guys think? Do you guys like the multiple lane, or do you guys like the single lane Bristol?
I like multiple lanes.
I like multiple lanes too.
So I know
don't
where you're
really-
going with it. I think with the car and the drivers now, I think the multiple lane's the way to go.
I think with this car, 100%, because you can't bump somebody out of the way.
No, you
so
can't.
the whole bump and run of the days before, you can't.
Not a thing. Can't do it.
You know what? I just realized I don't think YouTube can hear us.
Oh, that's not good.
Or no, it can. It's just picking up. I think. I don't know. Lindsay, can you check that? Is YouTube
Right.
working?
Yeah.
Well,
Hello,
just because
everybody.
if you can hear me on YouTube, just let me
Here,
know because
yeah,
Put a
Gus,
thumbs
let
up
us,
in the
let us
chat.
know,
because
let us
I
know,
had to
Gus.
work on my computer this week and I reset everything. So like I gotta make. I think I had all my settings right, but I'm not sure. Sorry. Okay, yeah, it's working. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm done.
So, man, so we were just. I was just watching the old 2002. It totally doesn't even make sense, but the Homestead race,
Mhm.
and it was very single lane. It was honestly pretty boring. So, just kind of
Oh yeah, old Homestead was
old Homestead.
trash.
Yeah, it was extremely boring, and I was like,
Hey,
man.
fun fact: Four Corners. That's where they were going to originally build that track. Right by our house.
Such
like
a missed opportunity.
30 minutes from our house. They were gonna. I could tell you. I should show you on a map.
Like 4 corners on
Yeah,
27.
like 30 minutes away from here. That's where
Oh,
they were originally going to
dang,
build it
man.
because they wanted a track in Central Florida.
No, we got
But,
this thing called Margaritaville.
Because NASCAR was building it, they thought it was too close to Daytona, so they went to South Florida.
Which, to
That
be
makes
honest,
sense. Take
that back.
it
For
kind of
sure.
is. That would be a little close.
But I
Would've
mean,
been
it
nice
was
though
just
in our
it was
backyard.
very
It would've
single. It was very single lane track, and it's just I don't know. I prefer the multiple groove that they have now. I think it makes the most
We
sense.
just got
Plus
canceled.
the car. Oh, we didn't.
No, because
Oh.
I just realized.
It's like what I
Sorry,
said.
Gustavo said sounds good to me, and I was like, okay. So I did the okay symbol.
You
I just
can't do
realized,
that.
yeah, we can't do that anymore.
can't do that.
Sorry,
can't
sorry,
do that
YouTube.
anymore?
Yeah, sorry.
Let me just finish my train of thought here.
Sorry, go.
Wait. What are you talking
No,
about?
please let Matt
Wait, hold on,
finish.
Is that
no,
bad?
No, wait.
I'll tell you later.
Google it.
Yeah, we won't go into it now.
Just the cars. Just ideally, you start backing them up. Like I know they've made improvements, but it's such a slower track with those backup incidences. You can't risk it. So
Yeah.
I like the racing how it is now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Bristol. I mean, the track wise, I thought it was good. I don't know. I like the way it races. There was, I think it was Brad and Stenhouse went back and forth for, it was probably 20 laps trying to pass. And, one would slip up and then the other would slip up and, going
You'd
up
have to
high,
get-
going low.
You'd have to get that. He just figured it out.
Jake just looked up and Googled it and realized what it was.
I didn't
you'd
know
have
you
to
were
get a
like
good
that,
run.
DJ.
They would have to somehow miss an exit, and then you would have to hit the exit and get a really good run and dive
Yep.
down low and be able to make that.
I
pass.
will
if
say-
you didn't, you probably lose two or three.
It was nice
spots.
too because there wasn't a lot of, at least I didn't see it very many of them. There was. I didn't really see a bump and run.
You can't bump and run.
No,
Well, I mean, you could.
I didn't
but
see the
like,
cars get
can't.
that close to each other either.
No.
They kept
You-
a pretty good
Remember
distance.
Martinsville?
Yeah.
Like if you hit at Martinsville, you just push the guy forward. There's no bump and run with this car.
Well, that's true.
it's
not
a
the right track.
slam and knock him out of the way. It's it. It's completely different.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good as far as like the race goes, but definitely, always could make it better.
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, me and Matt talked about when we were watching that there was a couple times it was like 50 laps. The top 10 didn't change a single spot.
Nope.
So there was some good action on like restarts and pit strategy. There's a lot of that was really good and provided good racing. But then kind of when they started getting strung out and started going, I mean, there was literally zero passing.
No,
Yeah.
you couldn't
In the
catch
top
him.
10 anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless your name's Larson, then you pass literally everybody.
I want to say he lucked out from not pitting one time, and then that got him back into the equation.
I mean,
There was like one incident pretty early, like 40 laps in. There was a caution,
I missed that one, yeah.
and him and like 5 other people didn't pit, and they just waited till lap 100 or whatever the halfway point was, or whenever they
I
needed
think it was
to.
125 was the stage. So.
Yeah, they stayed whenever, and it worked out for him. A lot of the other guys that were there fell right back.
I think it's because it's so hard to pass. Tires just didn't really matter,
Yeah,
It could be.
it did just after like 100 laps.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
That is pretty wild. All right, let's move on and start talking about the playoffs. So obviously this is being the last race of the playoffs. We have a cutoff now. So now 4 drivers are out. We're down to the round of 12. So Michael McDowell, first one out. I think we all kind of said out of all the group, that was the one that I think everyone was pretty sure he was going to end up. It would have been cool. I mean, he was running pretty good last night. I almost said tonight. But he was running pretty good last night, but just didn't quite have enough there at the end.
No. I mean, we kind of figured if he was going to move forward, it was going to be
He had to win.
honestly like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Like it would be a miracle.
Which crazy too, because
He's a good driver. He's just compared to everyone else, he wasn't going to make up that much ground. You know?
if he did win, the next round is super good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talladega, Texas, which is in, but Talladega and
I think
The Roval.
the Roval.
didn't he also get off on like the first race? Didn't he get off on like a bad foot on the wrong foot or something? On
Pretty
the first race?
much Kansas and Darlington, they were just not fast.
Yeah, I know.
And I mean, you
well,
pretty much in his position with the playoff points that he starts with, he pretty much would have to run top 5 pretty much
Yeah.
every week to point his way in. Maybe
just not gonna
top
do
7,
that.
8 to make it mathematically.
yeah,
But I mean, they were like 15th, and then I think a worse than a 15th, and then basically got in a position of having.
I will
to win
say,
at
I think
Bristol.
Kansas was they were trying because they knew at that point because they had a rough Darlington. I think they kind of tried a different pit strategy to try to do something different.
Yeah, they were already
so
trying something.
Kansas,
different.
unfortunately, he was in a position where they knew like pretty much he had to win. Moving on, number 15, Ricky Stenhouse. Again, I think that's the one that everyone kind of expected.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
On that one. So, again, this is a good track for him, a decent track for him, but it just things like that happen sometimes.
Yep.
I don't have much to add. Ricky
Yeah, I
Stenhouse,
mean, we all pretty much. I think when
Those
when we
two-
did our 4 that were first going to get eliminated, that we all had them.
Yeah. All right. Now
They're
this
just not consistent enough.
Yeah. Now
That's
this
it.
is where things start getting a little different. Kevin Harvick.
Painful.
Huh?
Painful.
Yeah.
Predictable.
Kevin Harvick. His last year gets knocked out in the very. There you go. Gets knocked out. He's pouring one out for you, Kevin.
Did you see Rodney's post?
No. I
Rodney
didn't.
Childers, his
Yeah.
crew chief, posted on Twitter basically like doesn't know what happened, had a super fast car, came back with the same thing, everything. They were terrible.
Yeah, something like they made an adjustment because he was tight. It was what they were saying, and then the car was tighter. From what
I don't
Kevin
know.
said, so-
Something was way off there.
Something happened. Yeah, I mean, really sad. I mean, I hate to see Kevin Harvick go out like that. He hasn't won a race yet, and everything. I mean,
I don't think he wins another one.
he may not. I don't.
Where's he gonna win? Where would it be? What's his best shot? Bristol to me was his
Homestead,
best
maybe?
shot.
Maybe a
Nah,
Homestead.
he's
Texas?
not a rip the fence kind of guy. You got to have raw speed at Homestead.
Texas? I mean, I don't see him. The Roval, not his cup of tea.
No,
Talladega, that's a lucky win
Maybe.
if it happens.
It's a maybe.
But there's too many
Other good
better
plate drivers.
super speedway drivers.
Yeah.
What are the other 2 tracks in the last round? Okay, I'm drawing a blank.
Martinsville,
Texas.
Phoenix.
Oh, the
Texas.
last
No,
round.
no. It's Martinsville. What's the other 2 tracks in that round? Can't remember. My
Is
goodness.
it Kansas?
It's
No.
it's
No, we
Texas.
just went to Kansas.
Ahead is Texas, then Talladega, then Roval.
They're cookie cutter one. They're all pretty.
Here we go.
Phoenix,
Oh, Las Vegas.
Texas.
Vegas. Yep.
Vegas, then Homestead, then Martinsville. Honestly, I don't think we see Kevin Harvick win.
Yeah, I mean, it would either be Texas, maybe
Maybe
Las Vegas.
Texas,
Maybe Texas. That's
not
probably,
Las Vegas. Las Vegas is too much raw speed, and they don't. Stuart Haas didn't have it.
Yeah. Super.
And I don't-
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Ray. No, you go.
I don't really blame him. I blame 100%.
Stuart Haas
it's
is
Stuart-
terrible.
It's a
It's
Stuart
Stuart
Haas
Haas.
problem right now.
Yeah.
So it's just
Honestly, the
luck
fact
of the
that
draw.
the fact with the year that he's had, the fact that he even made the playoffs, was
It's a
honestly,
freaking miracle.
yeah. I mean,
not a miracle. I mean, he
it
ran
was-
good. He's just not playoff speed.
it was really sad, like watching his post race interview. You could tell he didn't want to he didn't want to be talked to, and they kept asking him questions. All his answers were like super short.
You know,
and
can we talk about something? All these drivers, and not really all the drivers, but drivers have commented, and all these fans, and everybody kind of talks about how watered down these playoffs are and all that. And then you see the frustration and like a Kevin Harvick getting
it's
eliminated
stressful.
in the first round. Well, being eliminated, like they're not happy about it. If the playoffs didn't matter, like people claim they do, or that they don't, like you wouldn't see these drivers care about it this much.
No.
yeah,
I mean, we see Denny Hamlin trying harder than ever to win a championship this year.
Mm-hmm.
If it didn't matter,
I'm gonna be honest. If
he
he's
wouldn't
gonna
be-
win
come
one,
on,
this is
man.
probably his year to
Oh
win
yeah,
one.
he's
He's got the momentum at the right time.
I was watching a video and they were talking about he probably should have won all 3 races.
Yeah.
He was
Leading
He's a
at
contender for
Darlington
sure.
yeah,
until he had a loose wheel.
Dude, I knew he was gonna win.
or whatever that was.
Kansas was dominating that race to a late race restart,
Yep.
and he messed up on the
he was mad.
on the restart.
He was
So
real
he
mad
should have
about
won
it.
Kansas, he should have won Darlington, and he won Bristol. Denny Hamlin looking nasty.
Really good right
He's-
now.
Yeah.
Going to Texas
yeah.
next week, so he should come right off that Kansas speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's gonna be interesting.
Yep, and then probably the biggest shock from everybody, the reigning champ from last year is out in the first round. Joey Logano out in the first round. I did not expect that.
I'm not that surprised, honestly.
With the way
First
Penske's-
round, though?
With the way
What has he
Penske's
done
run.
all year?
Yeah,
One win at Atlanta. That's it.
But he's always up in like the top 10.
That even has
He
an
always
asterisk.
finishes. Like, okay,
well, okay,
example,
I see what you're saying.
Kansas,
Stage points and stuff
he
like
was
that.
terrible.
Yeah,
15.
you're right.
He was terrible. And he got a good strategy, a lucky break. I mean, if it wasn't for that last caution at Kansas, Joey Logano's out
Yeah.
on points. Like, well, of course he's out. But I think he was out going into this race.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't afford to do this, man. You got to hit every single week. You have to be
I
good
even count
every
his
week.
win at Atlanta. That was
It's a
win.
super speedway. Like
No, Brad had to go to the bathroom. He didn't want to win. He's
Oh
like,
my
second's
God.
fine. He didn't have to do any interviews. He didn't have to go to the winner. He was fine. He had to go. He had to drop some buns. Like,
We try to have a serious,
this is serious.
you know
Like-
what though?
legitimate, respectable podcast.
Listen,
and
when,
then Matt
when
comes in
you're
here with these
holding
kind of
something
takes.
in like that,
If you think that
you are
we
finding a
gonna
bathroom
have,
as quick as possible.
if you think we're gonna have a respectable anything when
I'm
Matt's
just
around,
saying, I'm just
like,
saying we're trying.
you
Yes.
are gravely mistaken,
This is
sir.
the most backhanded thing I've ever heard on this podcast.
No.
no.
No. All right, so that means let's moving on to our top 12 playoff drivers. That means we got William Byron, Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, Christopher Buescher, Kyle Busch,
Is
Christopher
that
Bell.
based off the reset now?
This is the reset, yeah, because this has got
Woo,
the stuff.
William Byron to the points lead.
Winning
William
Willie.
Byron, yep, he's in the lead. Well, actually, him and Martin are tied. It looks like
Tied,
points
okay.
wise.
Yeah, wow.
They're
Were they tied
tied.
before, or was it Denny Hamlin that was tied?
I think Hamlin.
No,
and
no, it
Truex
was
were
them
tied.
two
We're-
because Hamlin just got the extra point.
Yeah. So, and then we got Larson, Buescher, Bush, Bell, Reddick, Chastain, Keselowski, Blaney, and Bubba squeaks in.
You guys want to pick 4 more that are going to be eliminated?
Oh, I'm 100% down.
I think this is so tight. Like
This
I'm looking
is a
at
tough
the list.
one.
Like,
This is a tough one.
Nah, it's
oh
easy, bro.
man,
This is a really tough one. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I can't pick 4 drivers that I think are gonna lose this. It's gonna come down to if someone has a wreck or something.
I got
that, it's
3 for sure.
I could. Pick,
I got 3 that I feel really good about.
I
Me.
I
Pull
feel
it up.
I can do 2. Man.
Playoff drivers that'll be eliminated.
Okay,
Is
so
that what you
well,
said?
Jake, why don't you go? What do you think?
All right, I'm trying to get my 4th.
Oh,
All right, my first, I'm gonna pick Kyle Busch because he's not been running very good lately. He's
Ooh.
up in the playoff points, but he's only 8 above the cut line. I think he's gonna blow it. My next one is Bubba. He's at the bottom.
yeah.
I see him 14 below
However, one thing just to keep in mind:
Talladega. Well,
But-
then that'd be a fluke.
It would be
Not a
It would-
fluke. I mean, he would win
So
legitimately, but that would be the surprise, the upset to me.
Yeah.
Ryan Blaney, same
Yep.
thing. Not running enough speed to break out of that negative deficit. I'll pick. God dang, bro. I don't
You
know.
know who you got to pick.
I really don't want to say Brad.
No, I think Brad's gonna win at Talladega.
I think
don't know
I
what you're talking
may
about.
pick. Oh God,
I
dude,
know.
don't
I know
even
my 4 now.
I got mine.
I think I've got mine.
I'm gonna say Tyler Reddick.
Mm.
Really?
No, he was too fast at Kansas. I don't know. I'm gonna say probably Brad.
Okay, so then I'll go. I'm gonna basically all mine are the same with Jake for the first three, except I don't think it's Tyler, and this hurts so much.
Don't say it.
I know you're gonna say it.
Chastain.
No, you're not a fan.
I am a fan, but it's just recently he hasn't had as much speed. Not speed, but he just hasn't been as consistent yet.
Well,
But,
hey,
but
listen.
here's why I don't want to pick Chastain, because Chastain doesn't make mistakes. They don't take themselves out of races. If he's got an 8th place car, he finishes 8th place.
That's a good
and
point.
I think you could do that and maybe make it.
He finished.
Maybe.
Remember, this is a round of 12. It's not like the round of 8 or anything yet.
You
so.
got a point.
I mean, the round of 12 is still really hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not.
I mean, you got to
Especially with
figure the next 3 races are all going to be won by
I will
playoff
say
guys.
I will say this. It's either Chastain or Reddick to me, but I'm leaning toward.
I don't know, but Reddick won Kansas.
Just consistency.
What do y'all got?
His teams always let him down.
You want to go, Matt?
Yeah, y'all not gonna like mine. So I'm gonna definitely go Bubba.
He's Byron, Truex, Hamlin, Larson, all out.
I may have some of those in this. So Bubba's definitely gonna be out.
Okay.
Just not performing. He squeaked through. It's not gonna happen again, unless he wins. That's the
That's-
only asterisk. Is
That's
if they win.
assuming we don't know. Yeah, that's
Ryan Blaney again. Penske, they're falling apart. They don't have the power. He's gonna be
Meltdown.
out. Yeah, he's just lucky where he's at. He's out. Next one, I'm gonna say, I definitely see Kyle Busch, falling out. Just again, like you said,
The consistency.
not doing anything.
no.
You know, and then the last one, I'm gonna say Martin.
I was just going to say I was
think-
going to change
I don't
mine
think
to
Martin's,
Martin.
Martin's gonna change much.
The
I
way he
think
did that round, this first round was horrible.
horrible, and I don't think it's gonna change.
It's a lack of speed
Granted.
in the 19.
And think about the tracks. He's not good at some of those tracks.
He's not good at
He's
super
horrible
speedways.
at super speedways.
But the Roval,
Yeah, but he hasn't
been good
great
recently.
on road courses.
Him and Chase Elliott
I would at
have
this
got their
point.
butt kicked in this new car. On
At
road
this
courses.
point, I would say I would rather pick Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Chris Buescher, Tyler Reddick before I even think about Martin Truex Jr. for the Roval.
He's also got a decent point.
You know what I mean?
Though.
Yeah, but one bad race. Talladega could take away 25 points, no problem.
easily.
Oh yeah, I was
Or
thinking about this list too.
you look at it-
Everybody on this list could win Talladega easy.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Brad's gonna win it, man. It's gonna be RFK.
Nah.
Yep.
It's definitely gonna be Chase Elliott.
That's true. I guess there's a whole lot of other racers that we're not looking at, but
Still,
that would be mine. It would be Bubba, Blaney, Bush, and Truex. And I'm sorry, Louis. I did not mean to pick Kyle Busch, but he hasn't been performing.
yeah.
He's either like
Hit or miss.
it's like he has really fast speed, but he seems to be making a lot of mistakes, which is just not.
sloppy.
It's like him to make a mistake in practice and then take that knowledge and be nasty fast in the race. But he seems to be making
You
the
know what?
same mistake from practice in the race and knocking himself out.
Who won Talladega this year already? Kyle Busch.
Did he? Oh, he did.
He won. Again, it's an asterisk.
I think this is,
I think if they show up with the same car, they're gonna get their butt whooped.
in my opinion, this is the most competitive round of 12 maybe ever.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, it's a good one.
This is
Jeff, what's
really
your
competitive.
fourth?
So I'm gonna start off with the same two that everyone has.
Yeah.
So Kyle and Bubba, but yeah, I mean I would say based off of just performance alone, you could argue for Blaney, but I think Blaney's a better plate racer than some of the others in the class. So I think he's got a shot at Talladega. So I'm
And
gonna say
he has help that's not in the playoffs.
yeah, and I'm gonna
guys.
I'm gonna say those two, and then I'll say Martin, and unfortunately, I'll say Chastain as well.
I don't
Gross.
think I've seen
I know,
Ryan Blaney.
But
You're gross, Jeff.
I don't think I've seen Ryan Blaney finish a super speedway in like 2 years. He wrecks at every
Yeah.
Daytona. And
This
every
might be the one
Talladega.
time that he could go to the Penske guys and be like, I have pushed y'all forever.
Years.
Time to get some payback.
yeah, time to collect.
Dude.
And I swear to God, if you get below me on turn 4, come to
Or
the checkered
3 or
flag.
any turn at all.
You're gonna see the wrap peels off, and it's gonna have a 22 behind.
No, I mean, just
It's gonna be one
imagine,
of Logano's
imagine the
cars.
scenario where Joey Logano is pushing Ryan Blaney,
and wrecks him.
and Wrexham.
Oh my god.
Would you be surprised?
No.
No, because you know what that means.
you imagine
RFK is
the
going to get a
meltdown?
third car, and then Blaney's going to go to that car.
Blaney's
I could
gonna lead
100%
Team
see
Penske.
Blaney going to RFK.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Brad's gonna say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna hang it up whenever that happens."
Ooh, maybe.
and
maybe
Blaney comes
3,
on
4 years.
over
I think Brad wants to win a championship though with his
I
team.
think so.
with his team.
Yeah.
Well, we need to start with a race win first.
Hey, listen, Daniel Emmer figured it
Hey,
out.
we were still there for Brad's last win.
Yeah,
Might be saying that forever.
If that happens,
I
plot
think
twist.
that was like 70 races ago, or like 100.
Is he really on that many?
Yeah.
When was it? Talladega?
Talladega? Like 2020.
Ouch.
I think
Hey,
it
man.
was.
I think I came back and got
That'd be
COVID.
90
Because
races this
he
year.
hasn't won this year, and he didn't win the
I
year
want to say it
before.
was 2020. Yeah, I caught COVID coming back from that.
Oh, that's exciting.
That was fun.
Oh, that's true. But you
Yep.
saw Brad win.
I did. It was worth it.
I was gonna say,
I survived, obviously.
if
I
Joey
got-
Logano,
I got the
wrecks-
Brad's like, I'll do it again.
if Joey
Matt,
Logano wrecks
that's it.
Blaney,
You just have to catch COVID, and then he'll win.
oh god.
The goal.
If Joey Logano wrecks Blaney, plot twist, Blaney starts his own team next year or buys into another team.
Buys Penske just to fire Logano.
God.
You're done.
I don't think he's got that kind of money,
No,
but
I think he's got.
well, if
I
he,
think
if he,
Logano
if
would
he
buy
pulls with
Penske
Cindric,
first.
Cindric's obviously got money to stay in
That's
that
true.
ride.
When you walk out
Anyway,
to a
so-
Goofy Goober song, I mean, you gotta have money.
Bro,
Dude, what
he
the
is a
heck?
freaking goofy goober.
he is. All right, so let's move on and start talking a little bit about silly season. Obviously, there's been some big news.
You think?
Yeah. So I'll kind of throw this one out. This is kind of a separate topic, so we can kind of but it's going to be involved with it. Is so Spire buys the charter from what is it? Live Fast Racing. Live Fast Racing.
Live Fast is a 78, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I have no clue.
and
so.
I think
so.
it is a 78. And
That's
so
good. That's the slowest car on the track.
yeah. So Trackhouse is going to be teaming up. Now, this is where I'm a little confused. Trackhouse has the driver,
Yes.
and
Trackhouse
Spire
signed
has the charter in the car.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So we got a weird like Avengers moment here where they're like coming together and to fight the mighty Thanos or something. I don't know.
Fight the
man,
mighty
I don't
They
Hendrix.
provide the driver.
I didn't
They
know Spire
provide-
got money like that.
Apparently they do.
It don't look like
Pitbull
it.
does.
Well,
Well,
yes.
yeah, but Spire bought it. So I wonder if there's a deal where they bought it together or something somehow.
They bought it together, or like, hey, you buy it, and then I'm going to buy it from you in like a year or two for like a little bit more or something.
I don't know. It's
Co-ownership
crazy.
of the charter.
I don't know. Like,
Maybe.
but
It's
wouldn't
like-
they have said that? Like,
I
in
mean,
the
it could be
announcements?
in
But if Trackhouse
Spire's
had the money,
name.
why wouldn't Trackhouse just buy it?
That's what I'm saying.
I think
don't know,
there
it's
might be
weird.
an advantage to only having two cars,
Yeah, but
and
then,
they want to
but
keep
then,
that advantage.
But why do they want the
I
third
don't- I
driver?
don't
Well,
think
it
so.
could be. I mean, they could have gone like. I mean, it could be in Spire's name, but Trackhouse probably could have went halvesies with them, and
Let's
then,
be honest. That's
and
going to be
rent it
a,
and then
that's gonna
decided
be a
later
Trackhouse
on
car.
to pay the difference later. You
It's
know
actually
what I mean?
not. It's going to be a Spire Motorsports car.
Yeah, but it's going to be a Trackhouse
no,
car.
it's not.
No, I know what you're saying, but it's
No,
there's
it's
going to
not.
be
They've
some
already,
extra help there.
They've
But-
already said it's going to be
it has to be
Spire
a Spire
cars
car
built in their shop with Spire team members.
with information
it's-
from Trackhouse.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not
that's what I
like
mean,
it's not
like-
like the Wood Brothers, where the Wood Brothers 21 is a legitimate Penske car built in a Penske
Okay,
shop.
so let's
It's not
let's,
that.
let's solidify this because it's very. This is so like
Weird.
based off of what I was reading, it's super convoluted, kind of.
Yeah, of course.
But it's just like, so like Trackhouse signed Zane Smith to a contract under
for a car they don't have.
Trackhouse for a car that they don't have. So they're lending,
But
Zane
that's
Smith
pretty
to
common.
Spire.
That's been around for a long time.
and I know it has.
Chris Buescher
but
was like that with who was it? JTG?
Yes.
Yeah. But he
Right.
was always then Roush, but now RFK. He was always a Roush guy, right? But
Yeah.
but he was racing for another team. Like that's been around. That's been a thing.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I guess I'm just curious as to like what this does for Trackhouse. Like if
Like,
it's
what's
going to
their
be a
benefit?
Spire car with Spire people.
All that just to
And
get
then-
Zane Smith, which I'm not knocking Zane Smith, but I could see
a
throwing
hell of a
around.
driver.
Hold on. Are they expecting that?
But I could
are they
see you
expecting
throwing
maybe
huge money like that for somebody else, like a Jeff
So
Jeff
I'm a-
Gordon,
are they
a Kevin
expecting-
Harvick, somebody like
Well,
that,
my-
super high
Ooh,
level.
I think I know
I'll
what
say,
you're about to say.
Are they expecting that Suarez is going to be gone
That's what I was just about to say.
and move Zane Smith into that
I'm
other car?
gonna tell you my opinion.
I think Suarez got 2 years.
I think Suarez got 1 year. depending on how good
Okay, fair
SVG
enough.
does.
I think.
Because we'll talk about
Okay,
SVG.
so-
wait, hold on. But like, if you're gonna talk SVG, then why sign Zane Smith if you're Trackhouse?
Dude. Because maybe Trackhouses, maybe they're banking on whatever
The
the
Chargers
2025
Because
deal
this is the same exact thing, or virtually the same thing that Penske did with Cindric. They put him in the 21 for a year, and then
No, they did not.
didn't
Zin-
Cindric?
Who?
Oh, they were
Cindric.
going to though.
Cindric
That was
never
the
went
plan,
to the 21.
but that was the original.
That
plan.
was the plan.
That was the
until
original
Brad
plan.
left.
Mofo
And then
stole the
Brad
2 and
left.
won it. That was he won the
Yeah,
Diamond.
because that was the original
Still
plan, and then Brad left anyway.
Well, yeah,
so
but
they're
you
like,
can't
put
wreck
him
the
in
boss's
2.
son, so Pratt probably would have got wrecked anyways.
Yeah, I guess so.
Disgusting.
But yeah, I mean, so that was the original plan. So maybe Trackhouse is trying to do a similar thing where they're trying to put a fire under Suarez and see what
Maybe
goes on
I don't
there.
know.
I don't
It's
know.
really makes you wonder because like I feel like Trackhouse is like positioning themselves as if they were a 4-car team and they don't have 4 cars.
exactly.
So that's why I'm kind of with
Maybe there's
Matt.
some kind of partnership with Spire, some kind of
They're calling it an alliance.
yeah,
But
but there's
it's-
alliances everywhere.
Yeah.
So my thing is,
How many cars
you
does Spire
jumped
have?
the gun.
2? Well, 3 now.
Huh?
Spire has now 3 cars.
It'll be
The
3 cars.
77 and the 7.
And,
they're probably gonna be this. They'll probably
Corey
just keep it the
LaJoy is
78.
already signed to come back. The 77 is I don't think that car's been filled yet.
probably open.
I think the we'll go into all the cars, but I think what's still confirmed open: the 77, the 10.
16, I guess.
16
16?
ish, but yeah.
No, the 16 said the plans are done, but the driver hasn't been announced. So I'm thinking AJ's out.
Yeah,
That's probably-
he has to be out.
It sounds like
I
maybe
think
he's
he
going to
should
go
just
back. I
stay
think
with
he wants to
Xfinity.
go back to Xfinity.
So
I
is
think
that
he
where
seemed like he was having way more fun.
where
Yes.
did they announce what Hocevar's doing?
No, that's who I want to bring up because Hocevar is tightly aligned with Trackhouse.
Yes.
So why would Trackhouse jump the gun and go steal Zane Smith from Ford and not sign
Why,
Hocevar?
what makes Hocevar tightly aligned with Trackhouse?
He does a lot of stuff.
He
with
does a
them.
lot of stuff with
trucks.
the 42 trucks, which is a Ross Chastain. They work with them. It's just a whole
Yeah,
bunch
but
of
it's
stuff.
not. I mean, the Ross races a lot of those rides, like the DGM ride, because I mean, he said this in an interview that he, the small teams are what got him his ride, so he wants to, give back and help those teams and be a part of those teams and help build them up. So I think that's where you see him running the 42 stuff, the Nice truck stuff, and the DGM stuff. That's why you see him running that because these are the
But
guys that help get his foot in the door.
He's came out and said he's also personally like training and working with Hocevar to make him a better driver.
Okay, Hocevar deserves a cup ride.
Oh, of
We've
course.
seen 4
You-
cup
you-
Yeah, I
races
agree.
and like.
He's done amazing.
So does he go to
was
the 16?
him and Noah really in the same equipment?
It makes
Him
me
and
wonder.
Noah,
I don't know.
It
bro.
doesn't-
Like I feel like they got different race cars.
it feels like it, like totally different.
It makes
Maybe
no
there's
sense.
another deal there where Trackhouse is giving a little bit of information to help their
Hocevar
boy.
out,
I
yeah.
don't know.
So I
I can
don't
see
see why they
Hocevar
would.
going to 77.
I don't
That's what I think.
That would be
77 or
amazing.
16.
77.
And you think he would be
I
signed?
think they're going to try to keep him. If he is part of that
Well-
Trackhouse net, you want to keep him at Spire. You don't want him to go to Colleague. Colleague is a competitor to Trackhouse.
That's true.
And you
Yeah.
would think that he would get signed.
They're both fighting for higher position on the ladder of the Chevy totem pole.
That's
you know.
that makes sense.
Would you think they would sign him at Spire the same way they did with Zane Smith, or you think he would be on a Spire contract?
I don't know. I have
I don't
no
know.
idea. I mean,
I don't know.
Trackhouse does that just so if something happens, they got Zane Smith in their back pocket. If they decide
Yeah.
all of a sudden Trackhouse acquires a third charter, okay, we're taking our boy. See you later.
Yeah.
Figure it out, Spire. That's why they do that.
Yeah.
That's what Roush did. All right,
Yeah.
Ricky Stenhouse is wrecking way too much stuff. You're fired. We're taking our boy Busher back.
Sure. That makes sense.
I mean, that's why they do that.
Seemed to work.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's a good choice.
yeah, if you ask me. So I don't know. So then SVG comes into this, and he's
Yep.
he's
Yeah,
going to be
where's
part
he
time.
gonna go?
He's
So,
going to be part
so
time.
his deal is part-time trucks, Xfinity, Cup, maybe even ARCA, and lower tier local series like
So-
Cars Tour.
That
So he-
man is not going to have a life next year.
No.
No,
He is racing all
well,
the
no,
races every week.
They
I mean,
pretty.
if you
I
want to
think
figure ovals out, here you go.
I think they specifically were saying like they're like obviously he's already an established racer. We don't have to teach him how to race. He knows how to race. He knows how to drive competitively. We got to get him used to ovals. Got to get him used to ovals specifically. That's what his weakness.
it's entirely different
Having him-
discipline.
Yeah, having him drive multiple different cars gives him totally different looks because
Yep.
what trucks are more aero. That's where he can really
yeah,
work
well,
on
trucks
the aero.
and Cup are very similar.
Yep, and then
Extremely
Xfinity is where you can really kind of start to see the competition level be somewhat similar to Cup. I feel like.
Competition level, but the way the cars drive are totally
Agree,
different
but I
game.
think
yeah.
for the truck will give him a better idea of how this car
Sure.
drives. And to be honest,
Do you think that's why Hocevar is so good?
Yes.
because I do.
Yes.
Is
Slow
that why
down
Noah struggles so much because it's so different?
Yes.
Yep. That's
I think
probably,
we're seeing the
I think
fruits of
that's
that right now.
I think it's the same reason why Ty Gibbs has struggled so much. Like he just, and by what I mean struggle is it's taken him almost 2 years
Because he wasn't that
to
great in
start
trucks.
being competitive.
He was really good in the trucks, but he wasn't great.
Right.
yeah.
In the best equipment, and should have been winning almost every single race.
And then he goes to
for
Xfinity
how he
and
went
dominated.
to Xfinity.
And then he went to Xfinity, dominated, and he got really used to that car
The trucks
setup.
and the Cup car race like nothing else in America.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem.
I saw a
it's
post today on
trouble.
Twitter. I was going to bring it up. There was a post on Twitter I saw today. It was like, can we just get rid of the next gen and just race Xfinity for Saturday and Sundays? I'm in. Race
Really?
Xfinity cars.
I don't like
Get
that.
rid of the Cup car.
The Cup
Dude,
car is too beautiful.
What
I
was
can't do
what was
that
a better race, Friday or Saturday?
Saturday all day.
No way, bro. The Friday.
No, I'm sorry. Xfinity.
Yeah,
I meant Xfinity.
The Xfinity Bristol race was
I
phenomenal.
know what you meant.
Yeah.
Normally
Normally it's a Saturday.
Xfinity
So
is
I
on
always
Saturday.
just
Yeah.
said Saturday. But yeah.
The racing is better. You can do things.
Yeah.
Like it's just better. It's totally
it's
better.
just better. That's it. And I
Yeah.
get it. But that car's also had years and years and years.
Yeah,
of
but
being
this car I
perfected.
think is getting worse. The
I
parity-
wouldn't say
The,
that.
the,
No, I
the
wouldn't agree.
parity. Okay, let's say the
Gives and
amount of
takes.
different winners we have is less. The parity is more equal, which is resulting in less passing. The tire doesn't wear. Like
Okay.
it's almost impossible
Okay,
to
well
pass
you can't
because
blame
of aero.
you can't blame the tire on NASCAR. That's a Goodyear thing.
I can't blame the tire on NASCAR. They designed this tire with no interliner, so Goodyear is scared to death to make a tire without an interliner that is risking blowing a tire because that creates a huge wreck. And then
I
they
mean,
get blamed for
That's how NASCAR's done it in before.
no, because like in the
Tire
Xfinity
blows, big wreck.
series,
Oh well.
in the
keep going.
Xfinity series and the Cup series before, they had interliners. So if a tire goes down, it just goes down. You might spin out, but it's not like it just goes down and shreds and destroys a race car and hits the wall. Goodyear doesn't want to do that. They got to sell tires on Monday through Friday. Like
Does anyone here have Goodyear tires? I do
Nope.
not.
I don't.
Okay, so
I
they're
do.
not
I just
selling
bought my
tires
truck
today.
and didn't have it on them, but
On my truck.
You got Goodyears
On my truck.
on your red one?
Yeah.
the Eagles.
The one that's parked. It broke down.
No,
broke- the broke
I
one.
mean, why? We're 2
Tires are
years
still
in.
inflated.
It's not better.
Are you talking about the next
We're
gen
almost
car?
yeah.
I don't know.
Man,
I think
it has its
they've.
ebbs and
Sorry.
I
no,
think
you
it's
go ahead.
got its ups and downs, man. Like the first year, obviously there was more winners, it was more chaotic, but you have to learn from stuff like that. Like you're gonna have to fix parts, you're gonna have to design things. Like I don't think it's just to judge an entirely new vehicle on 2 years.
You're not tired of watching cars getting beached when they spin
When was-
out?
I
When
haven't
the last
seen
time
that
that
since
happened?
last year.
There was a bunch at Daytona this year.
But they were in the sand.
No, in Daytona.
Yeah,
At
well,
Daytona,
the
they-
grass, the sand.
When they had the Ryan Blaney wreck and he wrecked on coming out of turn 4, it was like 3 beach race cars. That's why the caution took so long.
Listen,
They actually
listen.
caught a red flag because they had to take all the junk race cars so they have enough tow trucks to come hook up race cars that were beached. and
NASCAR
couldn't get
could
back
fix
to pit
that.
road. They can't fix that. There's no interliner on the tire.
Or they could just say your ride heights have to be higher.
Yeah, it sounds like just the tires. So you're just mad at the tires.
What are you talking about? A ride height? No, that's not. That's not
Make
how
the
it
ride
works.
height
It's
higher.
it's the under wing.
Yeah, but if your car has taller suspension, it lifts it up.
Yeah, but then you get into the whole thing of if you get that much air going into the car, it's going to flip.
Well, then they need to design the car better.
The cars have
I-
flipped the whole
yes.
time.
The Xfinity car seems to be perfect. I think we should.
The Xfinity car is perfect for its series.
It
I
is
think the
really
Xfinity
good, yeah.
car is perfect. It needs to be an Xfinity car. It needs to be a car that progresses you to Cup level so that you are ready for it.
Why not
I
run
think-
one race in the Xfinity cars with the Cup guys, see what happens?
I think they all wreck, and you literally cause the exact because they're all used to the new car.
I don't know.
I do think the car needs to be closer aligned to the Xfinity car. I'm
Agreed.
not saying that, but I
Yeah,
don't
but this
think
car
you just
is
need to
so
junk
far-
the entire car.
Yeah, but you can't even get close.
You could.
It's
figure
like
it
when
out.
we work on
they're-
the- when
they're
we-
rocket
when we work
scientists.
on
They
the
could figure it
cars.
out.
You know how it has the track bar that goes across, and the rear end is all one suspended piece, right?
Yeah.
This car's not. You have independent suspension like you do on the front of the car in the rear. So the rear will never travel. You'll never have that slipping and sliding like the Xfinity car does. It'll never happen in this car, ever.
I see a lot of people spinning.
And the majority, no, I'm talking about like how you get in the corner, you can kind of ride it on the right rear.
Yeah,
and that's
I know
where
what
you
you're
get,
talking about. I know
like
what
it doesn't matter what tire Goodyear
There's
makes,
no give.
it'll never do that. It'll
it's either you're either tight or you break loose in your rack.
That's
It's one or
it.
the other.
That's what I'm saying.
And maybe that's something they got to change. But
Maybe.
give it a year. Let them change it in a year. See what happens.
I
don't think they should scrap the whole car. I
Jake's
think the
ready
car's
to be
too
like,
beautiful.
Scrap the car. I'm done with it. I don't
I
want
just
nothing.
like, look, guys, I've
Sound
been
like a
watching.
dwarf, bro.
I've been watching
No, you're right though.
racing
You're
for
right.
a long time, and I don't like what I've seen over the last year. There's moments that are great. But there's a lot of moments that are bad and not great. And Bristol is a shell of what it used to be. Look at the attendance.
See, but again, it was.
I didn't look at
I
it.
would have to say
Not
that's
great.
more of the track.
It's not the track. Well,
It's
I mean, the
had
track
issues
is
for a while. Even in the Gen 6 car, it still had its issues
yeah,
where
they did.
it was
ruin
only
the track.
low. Yeah, they ruined the track. You can't blame that on the car. You
Yeah,
can
but
blame the
yeah, but
short pack trackage, but they
What
didn't
was
even run
what
the
was
short
better,
pack
the
trackage.
Gen 6 or this car?
See, but
See,
the racing was better in the Gen 6 car, but they had years to perfect it.
but it was better from year one. Until they started doing the high downforce stuff everywhere, that was trash. That was so
Was the
bad.
Gen 6 the same car with the giant futuristic wing?
That was the car.
That's car tomorrow.
That's Gen 5.
That's the Gen 5.
Yeah,
Car tomorrow. That was good stuff.
That was a cool car.
Especially when they ran super high horsepower and high downforce at the big tracks.
Oh.
220 miles.
just-
Oh,
an
let
hour
me
into
rephrase what
Michigan.
I said. The package is good. The big looking wing on the back was kind of ugly, bro.
It
No,
was.
honestly,
I think
It
it
was.
was- the
It
Gen
looked like
6
Fast and the
have-
Furious back in the day. Like
It
it
look-
actually fits. But if
Bro,
you
why
watch
did
it now,
why did I have like Fords and Chevrolets look like a Mitsubishi Lancer, bro? Like
I guess-
that
Just
doesn't
the
make any
time-
sense.
To
Okay,
kind of
because
wrap
Fast and the Furious.
Sorry, I'm
wrap
gonna
the-
jump
to wrap-
back.
Hold on, to wrap this up.
I'm gonna jump back.
I just
though.
want I just want the drivers to have more tools in their toolbox, and they don't.
Wasn't
they
the-
can't bump and run. You can't nudge somebody out of the way.
I get it.
You
Yeah.
get arrow tight. You got to slam them. Like it's just not. It just doesn't produce any good racing. Not any, but it's harder to produce that good racing. You need a track with the right amount of track age, to where it has multiple grooves, like Auto Club. A tire that wears good and creates some different strategy. You got to have all the right pieces to make it work.
So
You know,
wasn't
that's
the
what it is.
last year with the Gen 6 car the same year that Hamlin and Larson had like 11 wins each?
I think so.
How is that better racing? 22 races of the year were won by the same two people.
I don't like how they ended the Gen 6 with the high downforce,
But that's how
low
they were gonna
horsepower.
go.
I don't like that.
That's how they wanted to go. the
Yeah, but I
whole
don't like
time.
it. It's bad racing. You know what could fix this car is more horsepower.
Bingo.
I was
There's a
to be honest,
solution rather than just scrap the car.
Maybe. But they're not doing anything. So if you're not going to do anything, let's just
I think
junk
they
this
need to
thing.
figure out the safety aspect first.
maybe that's
Once
what
they
they're
figure
thinking.
out safety, then they're going to
When was
start
the last
testing the
time an
waters.
Xfinity car driver got a concussion?
I couldn't answer.
The
I
car
don't know.
seems pretty safe to me.
It does.
On the record, I do like the Xfinity races, and I do like the Xfinity.
I think it would be
cars.
I think
interesting.
everyone does. That's
I think
the
it's
best.
good.
It's arguably the best race of the weekend.
I
And
think
think
they
about it.
should
There's
have-
only
but I
there's
see
really only
Jake's-
8 to 10 competitive cars in Xfinity.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had 30.
Here's an idea. Let's get rid of the Clash with the next gen and just do the same Clash just with Xfinity cars, and make everyone start the season off running an Xfinity car.
That I honestly was kind
Could
of
be
thinking,
kind of wild.
what if you did the All-Star race like that?
Yeah.
Let's do a real A/B test. Let's see how it goes. We're gonna put the guys in Xfinity cars. Plenty
That'd
of
be
time.
wild.
Tell them now. You got 6 months to build a car. Plenty of time to build one car.
Yep.
Maybe two if they just want to back up.
There's plenty of Gen 6 and plenty of leftover stuff
And-
out there that
and
you
they
could buy
still-
these cars and make it happen.
And they
RFK
still
would
build
be
their own
really mad
stuff,
'cause
right?
They just sold all
For the
of
most
it.
part.
Xfinity?
Yeah, they're
Well,
not like
right
they're not like
now-
kit cars the same way that
No,
Cup
no.
is,
Well,
right?
I mean, they're all like built from scratch. But
Yeah.
most of what the Xfinity teams are using is all the old Gen 6 stuff.
yeah.
Rick
from,
Hendrick would be
from
knocking
Cup.
on Junior's
Or,
door.
yeah.
Hey, can I get 4 cars? And Junior's like, here you go,
Facts.
bud.
Hendrick probably
Have
has.
fun.
Here you
Hendrick
go.
probably already has.
Watch
them,
out,
like,
they're a
just
little
in
hot.
standby. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well, I mean, think about even how many race shops like where we're at DGM, right? That have
Tons of parts.
half dozen Gen 6
They
chassis
could do it.
that are
They
just
could-
sitting on a rack that they're just saving for in case they junk a chassis. They'll pull another old Gen 6 down and convert it to Xfinity. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, they could do it.
I mean,
Well,
you
I
gotta
mean,
it would be
modify
hard.
it. You got to make it work, but it's pretty freaking close.
I mean,
Yeah.
but I see the point though. It's like, obviously like Xfinity has its ups and downs just because of talent and the competitiveness of the teams. But, if you have all the cup teams doing that, you're going to have more competitive cars with more experienced, more talented drivers. So I guess
I don't know, man.
I
guess
think it'd be a good combination.
the old school fan of me, to answer your question about the Denny Hamlin thing,
There's a
about
question about
how
Denny
many races he won, was it
Oh,
better
bro,
racing?
11 races each. I remember.
But
It was something.
I kind of miss like when you could engineer speed like that. They come up with something that's outside the rule book. It's a gray area, and they
you
could
say
engineer.
Everyone else says cheat.
It's not cheat. It's finding the gray
All
area.
right,
If it was
Chad.
cheat, they
Chad
would get in
Canals
trouble.
over here.
I'm not saying cheat. Like who was it that got caught with the bleeder for the tire?
Oh, Ty Majeski?
Yeah, that's cheating. I don't like that. But I'm talking about
I got
like that.
stories to tell you all about that.
But like like the last couple of years, the Xfinity cars, they found out there's a way to make that rear end move a little bit and there's a skew that you can put in the Xfinity car and it creates insane speed.
I heard they took that away, and
They
that's
did.
why Junior Motorsports kind of
That's why they're not good because they had so much speed with that. Same thing with Gibbs.
And now they kind of suck. So.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
getting back.
Close it out. I miss the Gen 5. I do. I really do.
The Gen 5.
Yeah.
Close it out. I missed the
Gen
4.
5 No, I don't miss the wing. That wing was
The wing was
ridiculous.
ugly, but like some of the
All right.
later Gen 5 packages.
Well, this
were
has
good.
been our silly season update.
Wait. We gotta talk about Henrik.
I haven't got there yet.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got other
Bring it
things
up,
to talk
bring it
about.
up.
But you just said we were gonna close it up.
No, you did. You said that.
No, you
To
said
close, I said close out that little
No, I was just saying this has
rabbit
been,
trail.
This has been. I was saying it more so like
What
this is how
other silly season? Henrik to
Anyway.
the 31.
Hemrick went to the 31.
Garbage.
16 is still unknown.
First off, like the whole Hemrick thing. Can we talk about how everyone on the internet was freaking out about trying to figure out who
That
it
was so funny.
And
I
someone's
was
like,
such a
this one
letdown,
person's
bro.
like, oh, look at the freckle. There's this picture of Hemrick with a freckle in the same spot. It's Hemrick.
I ended up finding a video. This guy went down this rabbit hole. He's like, how many of these guys have hairy arms? He's like, look at this guy, bald. This guy, no hair.
Bro,
This
there would be
guy.
a distinct difference if I shook his hand and you shook his hand. Like, you'd be like, oh, it's clear as day.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
yeah,
Just- yeah, you gotta just know
Well,
that.
I also have tattoos.
I just don't
Yeah, right.
understand. Daniel Hemrick has to have like the deepest pockets of any
I don't know what's
racer.
going on there.
Because this man constantly wrecks, constantly out of the playoffs.
One Xfinity race.
One
win.
Xfinity race win, and it was okay. It was the championship win. Whoop de doo.
I mean, it's,
Right?
it's
I
It's like
literally-
top tier.
I was there for
equipment.
Daniel Hemrick's last win.
The only.
I was there.
It's just like who is this guy?
I was at work when I saw that, and I was the one that sent it in the group chat. And I was at work, and I saw it on, like, I think it was NASCAR NBC or something like that on Instagram. And they had just posted it like 30 seconds prior to me seeing it, and I was just like sitting there staring at my phone, like, bro, what? I'm like,
Like,
how
you
did this
picked
happen?
the
How did we
most-
let this happen?
You picked the most C+ driver
I know.
who's gonna wreck
And-
your car every week to
Whatever.
race your car. That makes no sense.
I don't get it.
I don't
Dan,
get
I
it.
think
Hemrick,
there's.
bro.
I mean, unless there's deals with drivers that we just don't know about yet. Because like to me, there's
Who's
better
it gonna
drivers.
be?
But who's gonna sign Daniel Hemrick confident that he's gonna do good?
Well,
I
that
don't know.
I,
I
don't
mean,
know.
he is a good race car driver. He's good, but not great.
I want to say
You got to be great.
that
C+.
tells
No,
me.
no,
That
like
tells
his-
me
Yeah.
that
Like
they,
when he was running
He's not
the lower
cup-worthy.
series coming up, he's phenomenal. He's really good and super well respected among the racers.
Maybe he just
Sure,
really sucks.
and I
at
understand
Xfinity
that. But
cars.
here's the problem: is like
Maybe.
you have a touch point with him and John Hunter Nemechek. They're
Touch
both
point.
yeah. They a touch point. They had
it's right here. Touch.
they both have been in Cup, have Cup experience, obviously in the Gen 6, but they both got booted back to the lower series, and one of them I feel earned his way back to Cup, and the
Yeah,
other
the other
one
one
I
bought
don't
it.
feel and
Why
it's
w-
just like, bro,
I don't know.
Okay, so
I
here's
don't know,
another
I
one.
don't like it.
Todd Gilliland.
Yeah.
Dylan.
He's raced very well in the equipment he's been in for the races he's had. Why is like someone like him not on a table? He has
I
more
guess the
experience.
38 is open still, right? Is that signed?
I don't think
no,
so.
I don't think so.
Again,
well,
but-
now that they lost Zane Smith, he'll probably get signed back.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
he's
remember he's been
good.
running part time in the 36.
Yeah,
Zane
It's
Smith
just
has,
weird.
so I guess
It's
they
just-
lost him. So
it's
Yeah.
all money, man. It's just stupid. It's all money. I'm so salty about it because there could be so many other better drivers.
Who's going in the
to
10
look for.
car?
The 10 car?
I thought that was going to be Zane Smith.
Maybe
No, I don't
car.
know.
I mean, I don't know at this point.
They could be knocking on his door.
Why
be.
not? If Chevy stole a Ford driver, Ford
I
stole a
just
Chevy
can't believe
driver.
I
don't
can't
know.
believe we're literally 7 races to go and there's been no news on that at all. But
Do
does Hocevar bring enough money?
But the only
to
thing
race
is,
a 10
do
car?
we 100% know that Almirola is not going to race next week?
Smithfield is not coming back, so I imagine Almirola is not coming back.
I know, but they haven't said anything, which is kind of weird to me.
Super weird.
That's what I mean. Like, it just seems weird that they haven't.
The only
said a
thing
word.
they can do is bring Tony back, just so
Dude,
they can start winning.
that would be wild.
That would be so awesome.
He's like, listen, you don't have to pay me. I already got my money. I just need to start winning races, start getting some sponsorships back.
He just go, all right, here's what we're going to do.
They're banking
No,
on
here's
the
would
tractor
be-
company
I mean, I
so
don't
Here's
think-
hard.
what would be
I don't think
funny
they really-
though. What would be hilarious is Tony gets back in the car, gets in the 10 car,
It just starts winning.
starts winning,
Goes on a tear.
Wait, hold on. Starts winning, but all the other cars still have the same problem.
It's just like, I'm fixing my car into my car only.
Fixing this and not anything else.
Who else could come up from Xfinity?
Hmm.
I think AJ is gonna probably come back to
I'm
the
shocked
16 just because I don't. If Hocevar goes to somewhere else, I think AJ.
I
comes
wouldn't be
back to the
surprised
16.
if like an Austin Hill, he could go to a 16.
He can't. He
signed with
he signed a
RCR?
multi-year deal with RCR.
That was, I think that's a
Wow,
mistake.
what
Just for-
the heck?
Just for
bro?
Kyle Busch to take your car. Zoinks. Gotcha, bitch. Sorry. Sign this paper. All right, you're gonna be Xfinity for 5 more years. Have a nice day.
Jeez.
See you, loser. Good luck,
I
everybody
don't
else.
know. I genuinely don't know.
we a bunch of things, a bunch of pieces were put into place this week, but
And
there's
with
still,
still a lot.
which seemed to honestly
Made
give
it
us
more confusing?
questions.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm wondering is like SVG, is he just going to be in just like additional cars, kind of like the Project
I
91,
think so.
where it's for all his stuff because like just extra stuff?
Yeah, he won't be in a full time.
No, I'm just wondering if like they team up on a car if they were going to do that. But yeah, so I guess he's going to be part time. So there's still a lot up in the air. I'm assuming in the next couple weeks it'll probably narrow down. But moving on to some other news, we get word Bristol is going back to be concrete for both races, so spring race and night race.
Thank God.
So here's my problem. And I could tell Jake already was like, problem? Like, I love the dirt race, but I want it to go to like Eldora
Me
or something.
Yeah,
too.
facts.
But
Yeah.
and I hope that this is not NASCAR saying, "Oh man, you know what? The dirt thing didn't work. I want to still have it in the schedule. I want a dirt race because I think it's unique, and I think it's just something kind of fun. Even if if we did the All-Star race on it or something, just something."
What you're bringing up and kind of what we saw, does Bristol still deserve 2 dates? That's a hard question. I know it's gonna make
You're
a
really
lot
striking the
of
soul
people
of this
mad.
man.
To be honest,
I'm
I say no.
honest.
This guy's
What,
sitting over
what
here
if
biting
they
his
got
teeth.
rid of the spring Bristol race
And just went to
because
Eldora?
it's not straight up went to a dirt race instead and just said
Yeah.
Bristol, you're down to 1 race.
Tony
I mean,
Stewart offered
if
it.
you thought,
Yep.
if you thought last night's
It could do
attendance was rough, wait till you
Spring
see it
is
on-
going to be
wait.
half that.
It's gonna be terrible.
You're going to be like 30% off.
Yeah.
Like
Can
Phil.
we talk about? I mean, we kind of did, but 2 weeks in a row, bad attendance.
What was last week?
Kansas,
Kansas. I mean, everyone's working in Kansas. They
Darlington
gotta be
sold
doing-
out.
Kansas
Okay,
football
You
was
gotta,
the problem.
yeah,
there.
you got to understand.
Why are
NFL's
we
back.
going to these markets right now?
It
We kind of beat it to death last week. But
we did.
I mean,
Oh, you guys did. I
why
listened to
are we
it.
doing this, man? Why don't we take 2 weeks off at the beginning of football season?
Just to let it die down a little bit.
Yeah, let the anticipation of the playoffs maybe build a little bit. Take 2 weeks off, let football start, and come back with a 10-race run.
Yeah, it doesn't. I completely understand. Let everyone recoup, get what they need done.
That's not a bad
Get
idea.
that football fix out of your system.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
and then
the
come back to
drivers,
NASCAR where you want to be anyway.
Like Jake, we've been and done a race weekend. Imagine doing that 36 times a year,
Oh yeah,
bro. And then on top of it, you have to do. I'm just going to speak for the driver's sake. You got to do your sponsors. You got to do your family life. You have to do your marketing. You have to do your sit down, your study. You got to do your Monday prep. Like, bro, these guys, I'm 100%. Yeah, media. You got media days halfway through the year. I'm 100% agree. These guys need more than 1 weekend off
it's ridiculous.
after only 10 races. So you're going to get 10 races and take a weekend off, and then, hey, By the way, you got 26 races every weekend.
And you
Good
can
luck.
do it. You can do it in a way that makes sense, right? So you take 2 weeks
third.
off a cup, but you race Xfinity and trucks that weekend.
Yeah.
That way, the fan base. I mean, like we love
Getting
watching
together.
racing every weekend. I mean, we love it. We don't want to see a bunch of off weekends, right? We don't want to be like NFL.
But you can
like
make
that.
it work.
No, I agree. There's plenty of ways to
There's,
make it work.
I mean, IndyCar takes weeks off.
Even
I'm pretty sure F1.
Hey,
I don't watch enough
IndyCar
F1.
takes off too much.
yeah.
They
they
take
kill-
off a ton.
They kill their momentum.
Another one, use something like SRX. I mean, SRX has got their little stint in the middle. Like, take some time off
Could you
there because
imagine?
team up with them.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even
Imagine
that.
do
It's
like in the middle of the series, like what you're saying, like you take an off week, and then right in the middle of the summer you have like a 6 week of all your night races,
Yeah, or something.
like a summer series, 6 race series, all Saturday nights, and then take another weekend off, and then you kind of go back to the
Yeah.
normal. Just kind of create some moments because it
Yeah.
does feel like you do kind of get into a grind.
I think I could buy into that 2 week off thing.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
after Daytona,
especially when it's
they should give
college
them 2
football
weeks.
and pro football. It's like, I mean, like even last night, it's like, I mean, obviously we were all watching separately for the most part yesterday. I mean, I was flipping back and forth between the game and the race for sure. So I mean, it would have been nice.
We've watched pretty much all the races the last 2-3 weeks together.
Yeah.
We've had pretty much 3 screens going the entire time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like
it's
at that point I'd rather just have 2 weeks off so I can at least get the football fix and like
Here's another thing.
stuff.
Why the
Not that I
hell
don't like.
is the Bristol night race the same night as the freaking Tennessee Gator game? The
Someone-
biggest Tennessee game of the
Someone
year.
wasn't thinking on that one.
No.
That was crazy.
Oh,
And
no.
they started
And
at the same time.
And I don't know who.
like that.
Like who was
what
it?
are you doing?
I would imagine maybe NASCAR was
oh,
probably the first
NASCAR
one
was way
scheduled.
first.
So like who in? Well, that means it wasn't Tennessee that
That's
scheduled it.
college football, man.
Yeah.
I don't.
They don't care.
I don't get that, man. I just. Yeah, but
That's-
how many people in Tennessee did you lose viewership for the game?
Well,
on?
they're
It's
probably
on.
thinking,
There's
oh, it's
70,000, 80,000 in the grandstand.
but you're probably thinking,
Where
oh,
did
it's an
they
away
played-
game.
they played in
Gainesville.
Florida,
I
right?
don't care, bro.
But,
I'm
like,
telling
still,
you,
They're
I'm trying
sitting
to tell
at
you,
home, sitting at a bar,
this is
watching
one
the
of
game.
the biggest college football games of the year. Is the Tennessee Gator game. Everybody that
Loves
like
it.
like where I'm at work, and everybody that watches college football, even the non-Florida and Tennessee fans,
watching it.
everybody knows this is the game to watch this weekend. It is one of the top.
Yep.
Probably 10 games of the year, maybe probably top 5 just because of how long that rivalry goes back.
Yeah.
You cannot direct compete against that. That is just absolutely crazy, man. Or at least have communication with the college football like, hey, during this race and this game, if it's on the same weekend, like we just cannot compete.
And I'll be honest,
Like, you just
it
got to
could've been a
figure
12
out how to
o'clock
make
game.
I'll be
that
honest.
work.
I mean,
could've been a
It's,
12 o'clock game.
it's a classic 3 o'clock
Yeah.
game every year.
and I'll be honest,
Could've
I'm a
done that.
Gators
Every year.
fan personally, and I mean, I did watch the race enough to obviously have knowledge of it and be able to talk about it. I watched more of the Gator game. I was like,
You
I was
had
in.
to.
Well, I didn't.
Like,
it's a
I
one
was in.
for
It's a once-a-year
It's a
thing.
once
Yeah.
a year deal. Like you're gonna be tuned in.
Yeah. So
You
I mean,
can't. Why are we trying to compete?
So anyway, jumping back to this.
yeah.
Bristol
Back to
Dirt
Bristol.
is gone.
So anyway, I started blasting.
That's yeah, basically. So Bristol Dirt is gone. It's gonna be 2 races in concrete. I'm
with you. I think it should be
I
one.
think it should be a 1 race until they can either A, fix the track, or B, fix the car. One
Well,
of the
we
two.
can talk about that because Kuzman has one of the questions this week is kind of related to
Yeah.
this.
So
Um,
that's my
to me.
Well,
I think Eldora is the perfect thing.
Your racing
Yeah.
has to be either so freaking good, attendance doesn't matter, or your attendance has to be great.
yes.
you have to be sold out like the whole time.
But
Like Pocono.
in all fairness,
Because look at Pocono.
70, 80,000, which is half full at Bristol, sells out almost every single other racetrack on the schedule.
That is true. It's
We got to take that into effect.
That is
Bristol
true.
holds 160,000 people.
which is a lot.
It's insane.
That's-
You
how
should have
much-
been there for
almost
six
Daytona
how
seasons.
much?
levels.
How much does
Daytona
does
holds like
Daytona?
200,000.
100 in the grandstands.
So you're telling me that Bristol holds more than Daytona?
You haven't
Almost
been there.
double.
Wow.
You haven't
okay.
been there.
That's a bucket list
No, I
track
haven't.
for me,
It's
man.
insane, dude.
It's a bucket list track for me, man.
Imagine
I wanna go.
this grandstands at Daytona just in a circle. It's you just
Bristol,
look up.
Bristol
you're like,
has
oh my God.
2/3 of the total attendance of Indy for the 500.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And it's a half mile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
crazy.
I feel bad, but they got to fix something because the race this weekend was good.
I think
but
the
it was
problem
not
is
great.
now, even if they
It was
did
not
go
too
back
race-worthy.
to Old Bristol
No.
and they went and they fixed the track, the car is not going to allow good racing.
No, because they built
You put
the
it
car
in one
around the
groove
track.
around the bottom, it's going to be trash.
Horrible.
You
That's
will
why the
not, because you
multi-groove
can't
works.
you can't do the bump and run, so you just will not pass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, all right, let's move on to our. You good?
I'm good.
I'm making sure because every time, every time I move on to our Kuzman and Friends question of the week, Jake's like, "Hold on, what about this?" Every single
Wait
time.
a minute.
Yeah, every time. So this is our Kuzman and Friends question
Hold
of
up,
the week.
hey.
You mess with me. So if you have a question you want to see us answer on the show,
If you have
can
a Kuzman.
send it. If you have a Kuzman, have him write us a question.
You have your very
Send it to us
own
over on
Kuzman.
X, and if we like it, we'll add it to the show. I think we
Gross.
have actually a couple different ones from Kuzman and from Friends. So, Jake, why don't you give me the first one, and we'll
All
go
right.
from there.
Well, since we're talking about it, Kuzman's question is, what tracks deserve 2 races? Not Bristol.
Not Bristol.
Not Bristol.
We kind of outlined it, right? To me, you got to either have great racing or you have to basically just have an incredible
You gotta
event.
sell out.
And
Which-
you got to sell out.
Which tracks deserve it, or which is this like a? Do we justify the ones that already have
He
two?
says which tracks deserve 2 races.
Okay.
So
I
let's talk
think
about like who shouldn't have it and then who should have it.
Okay, Bristol shouldn't.
Richmond. Absolutely
Richmond should not.
Nope.
No, I agree.
not. And
Pocono,
this is.
hell yes. Pocono is amazing.
No, Pocono needs to stay at 1. I'm sorry.
I would
Matt.
love to see Pocono go back. I'd love to see Pocono go back
Pocono?
to the doubleheader.
Oh,
The only problem with the doubleheader was it was so predictable. The first race was like a trial run, and then the second race you're like, oh, I know who I'm picking. It was,
That's true.
There was no difference. But it's a great concept because it's like that same car wins the race, impound,
invert
do it
the
again.
field.
Invert the
We'll
field.
talk about that.
Or turn them around. The next one, you run it backwards.
I'm really interested.
Figure
I'm
eights.
really interested to see Texas because I think this car ran really good at Texas last year during the
Better.
better.
It went from being the worst racetrack to almost
it's all right.
Better than
almost second worst.
Better than Richmond.
And I'm
That's-
really interested
Mid.
in Miami. I want to see how Miami works out with this car. So
Yeah.
those are the two tracks that I'm looking forward to.
Almost-
so
Instead-
what tracks have 2 dates now that you?
Do you count the Roval?
I count Charlotte. I would say Charlotte.
So
Yeah.
Charlotte already
Charlotte
has
has
2
2
times.
dates.
I think it should have 2 oval.
Charlotte
dates.
should have 2 ovals. Hope
Agreed.
this
Yeah.
is the last year of the oval. The Roval.
Roval.
Which is sad because again, I like the concept of the Roval.
I
But
do
it's-
too.
it's-
but the oval is better right now.
The
You need to
oval
and
is
the
better.
oval sells out.
Yep.
Las Vegas. I want to see how Las Vegas runs too. That
Las
has 2
Vegas
races, right?
deserves. I think Las Vegas should have 2 dates, even
Yeah,
though the attendance
I
isn't
agree.
like phenomenal.
I'm
You
kind of
need
indifferent
races
on
out
that.
there.
I would attribute that to just the part
You
of
need
the
the West Coast. You need the West Coast.
Yeah,
race.
part
I
of the
agree.
nation, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a. I think that's a part of the nation thing, not really a racetrack
We
thing.
can all agree road
Las-
courses do not need double dates.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Like, we do
yeah,
not
yeah,
need 2 Sonomas.
Oh, we definitely need to do Watkins Glen.
Listen, I'm thinking
We're gonna run the
2
second one backwards.
2 indie road courses. It's perfect.
Super speedways,
Gross.
Daytona, Talladega, and
Yeah.
I'm still gonna throw in Atlanta.
That's a
2
bad-
I was
days.
gonna
it's a
say
traffic
that was
track.
gonna be my
Honestly-
number 1 was Atlanta. I think Atlanta needs 2 dates for sure.
Yeah, it
Still.
has it. So
Honestly,
I
yeah.
think they should put both. of
Well, it
them in
already
night
does,
races.
but I like.
The nice
I like
thing
that it
about
does.
those too is I feel like at least Atlanta specifically, the races are very distinctly. They feel different, but they're still similar in
They're
some
really
way.
good.
yes.
But they're both very good. So yeah, I think all the super speedways are good.
Well, I think it's interesting because the first Atlanta race is cold. We were there.
Freezing.
That sucker
That was so cold.
freezing. Right?
Sorry, not Kuzman cold, but
Yeah, whatever.
We got that thin blood, son.
Yeah.
But jumping over into like the summertime race, which we didn't go to, but I bet that was freaking hot, man.
Well, they did
Like,
it at night, so
you
maybe it's
had-
better.
you had
Still.
2 completely
Yeah, but
different
Daytona,
racetracks.
Daytona wasn't bad.
oh, Daytona was great this year.
Let's jump over to Michigan. Michigan's only got 1 day, right?
Well, now that we're losing Auto Club,
Should
give
Michigan
Michigan
have
a
2
second.
days? It was a good race.
it was
They were
pretty
hitting
good.
209.
You only say that because Busher won.
Bro, it was like a dream come true. I don't know. I think there's a lot of tracks they have right, but there's a handful that they really need to fix.
It sucks that like a couple of the ones right at the top of our list are short tracks because we need more short tracks.
Yeah.
But Richmond sucks and has sucked for a long time.
And again, Bristol's just
I
one of
don't- I
those
don't know
things
what to do
where
about
it's
it. Like,
50% the car,
So-
50% the track.
For what,
Kuz-
Bristol?
Bristol.
Yeah.
Kuzman says Martin. These are. I'm assuming he means to get 2 races: Martinsville, Daytona, Charlotte, and maybe Dover.
How dare you don't say Talladega and Atlanta?
Dover.
Hello.
Dover's a good
Dover
race.
would be kind of interesting.
Dover's cool.
Dover was stellar this
We
year.
used to have 2 Dover races.
Darlington,
I'm okay
I
with
think
Dover
2
having
races
one.
is good with Darlington.
Darlington's good with 2.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like Darlington because it's so hard.
I'm like we said.
I like
though,
what it does
I'm
in the
tired of
beginning
that
of the
throwback
year.
weekend. I need like a 2-year no
Break.
throwback. Like you can do a throwback, but don't like advertise the throwback.
What if we
Like,
did
just
something? No, that wouldn't work. I was saying,
Let it sit. Do
what if
something
you did
else.
something where it was like a futuristic weekend, or like some?
No, I agree. Some change
Listen,
it up. I agree.
something. But I mean, like,
Everybody pulls them in Tron rides.
Or at least if you're gonna do a throwback,
I'm not
say,
gonna lie,
Hey,
it'd be
listen,
All right, we're
interesting.
gonna predict Kyle Busch's paint scheme in 8 years. We're gonna run that today.
no, I think they need
The
to,
Viagra paint scheme.
They
bring it
need to
back.
have
Bringing it
set dates. They need to say next year. For the throwback weekend, we're gonna do only 70s themes.
something.
You can
That's
only
true. But the
pick
problem
70
is they
scenes.
tried to do that, but the teams just did whatever they wanted. The
See,
sponsors
and
did
that's-
whatever they wanted.
That's the problem. You'd have to get them on board.
Hey, you don't race.
The
You ain't
spon-
on board. You don't race.
Sponsors like Tide were saying, I don't know, I'm just paraphrasing, but Tide was like, well, we sponsored a car. It was in the 80s, not in the 70s, so we're not gonna sponsor.
Steal someone's sponsor. I don't know. Take a Folgers car. I don't know what to tell you. Just put Tide on the front. I
Or
don't
just
know what to say.
or just pull a track house and be like, hey, which one hasn't been in the sport in a while? Okay, hey, you want to be on a car again? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Bro, I bet people would do that.
Yeah. Trackhouse is changing the way that the sport is. I wouldn't be
I
surprised
just think
if
I
for
think
a
they should be
throwback,
a little
they
bit
find
more
someone.
strict with the throwback. I don't want to see a 90s car, early 2000s, and then throw it back to
Oh,
a 60s car. It makes no sense.
I'm gonna throw it back to my first win in the number 8 car.
Shut
That
up.
was terrible. They did that.
That's what he said
That's
too.
what Kyle Busch
yeah.
did.
I think it was just a joke, but I feel you.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do any throwback. That's
don't-
junk, bro.
Yeah. A little bit.
I don't think Richard Childress really has. I mean, they have throwback cars, but like, what are you gonna throw back?
Can't
The
do
3?
Dale, no, you can't do Dale Earnhardt.
They can't do DEI stuff.
You can't do Dale Earnhardt.
Is it a
Kyle Busch takes the Dale Earnhardt scheme.
Oh God.
no,
Could you imagine?
Kyle Busch
I'm
and the
pretty
Intimidator
sure-
8 car.
I'm pretty sure somebody would like burn down NASCAR headquarters if Kyle Busch ran an Earnhardt scheme.
oh, it'd be hilarious.
Sheesh.
Right now-
Anyway,
right now-
that three Chi would look good though.
Right
all black.
now, Lewis is just like, yes.
I
freaking
need to see Kyle
All right.
Busch in some gargoyles.
Is there any other tracks you wish had 2 dates?
just Pocono.
To be honest,
I mean, Pocono's a fair one. I would love to see it come back in a doubleheader.
I think Pocono.
I think we've hit all the ones we've kind of. I can't think of any specifically, because honestly, I'm kind of on the fence of like, I'd rather look at it from instead of what tracks need to have a second date, I'd look at it which tracks deserve that second.
I
date.
think there's one track that deserves a 3rd date.
A third date, Daytona.
Daytona for the Clash. Bring it back.
for the Clash.
3
guess that
corners,
counts.
3 dates.
One heck of a weekend.
Hey, you move the start finish line for every different race.
Instead of a
Oh,
double
jeez,
header,
I love it.
instead of a double header, it's a triple header, and you have to use the same car. It has to last like 1,000
my
miles.
Oh yeah, okay. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, that'd be wild. We got like a whole endendurance race going on. All right,
All right,
Matt,
so I got
you have
another question.
you have
Yeah,
another question.
So I
from
got a
us.
question that came in.
Where did it come from?
It came from a ex user named Mean Gene.
Mean Gene.
2448. So you know he's a diehard over here. He actually sent me 2 questions. I'm gonna go with the first one. I'll say both of them, but we'll go with this one first. What do you think is more important for better racing? Multiple lanes, higher speeds, or greater tire fall off?
Who
We
wants
pick our
to?
own option.
Can I say all 3?
I mean,
No, let's just go with one. I'll start
most
it off.
significant?
I'll start it off. I want to say on this one, I'm going to go with higher speeds. I think all 3 are important, but I think the higher speeds are really going to play a factor.
Does
with
higher speeds mean more horsepower?
Yes,
Is that what that means?
I would equate that to more horsepower.
okay.
That's
That,
more
yeah,
horsepower.
that changes
I'm going
my
with that,
opinion
too.
then, to be honest.
So yeah, jumping on that, I'd probably say higher
we
speeds.
haven't tried that yet.
That
Let's
is
try
going
it.
to be something that I think makes or breaks the short pack trackage. I think
The
they
short
really
pack
The short
package?
pack trackage.
short. Is that what it's called?
Short package is what you said.
Short,
Short
no,
pack
he said the short
trackage.
pack trackage.
Oh, I see. I got it. It just clicked. Anyway, y'all know what I
The
mean.
short track package. I had to
thing.
think about it for a second. I was about to say it again.
Listen, it's been a long day. I think that's going to be the greatest thing. It's
Yeah.
going to create those
Yeah.
runs that you need for the short short tracks.
I think it goes hand in hand with tire wear because if you have more power to the wheel.
I mean, it truly does, but just pick one.
So I would say
No, I'm
tire.
saying you kill two birds with one stone with the more horsepower.
That is true. I would say tire just on its own, assuming that it's not higher horsepower. If
Okay.
it's higher horsepower, I'm for higher horsepower regardless.
Yeah, let's say
But-
it's off the table. You can't do higher.
Yeah, I was gonna say
if
because
it's
I was
just,
I'm in the
I
if
just
same.
it's
more
just
speed.
removing downforce or whatever to get to those higher speeds, then I'd say tire
More
fall off.
Fair
downforce-
enough,
more
okay.
Yeah.
downforce equals
But
more
if
speed.
it's a situation where it's like, hey, we're increasing the horsepower to get these higher speeds, I'm for that. So it kind of
Dang.
You have to add downforce to get more speed.
okay, whatever.
The more
Okay,
downforce,
just
the
saying.
more speed.
Well, hold on. Really?
Yes. Unless you're on a
I thought the
really
looser
big
you
track.
were. I thought the looser you were, the faster you went.
Well, unless you don't have
but
enough grip.
Unless you have high downforce where you could really just stay in the throttle throughout the corner.
Oh, that's true. Okay. I'm not an engineer. I didn't go to Emory.
You said
We-
it like
we-
one of us did.
We know.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
We
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
High horsepower.
Yeah.
High
we know you didn't
horsepower.
go to Emory Riddle pack trackage.
I did not.
Pack trackage.
Pack trackage. So we're all set there. I got one more. Let me
Get
see.
a
if
really
All right.
nice pack
I need
trackage over there.
Lindsay. I need Lindsay to make a T-shirt that says pack trackage on it.
Okay.
Trackage.
Here we go. We got one more
he's
from
got quite the
Mean Gene.
pack trackage going on over there.
Good lord.
Please read the
Do
question.
you think? Sorry, I was trying to figure out where to start. Do you think NASCAR will ever have a distinction or add an incentive for winning the crown jewel races, such as Daytona 500, Coke 600, the Southern 500, or if they bring it back, the Brickyard 400?
Well, the Brickyard is coming back.
So
From everything we've
so
heard,
since
the
it's coming
Brickyard
back,
is coming
Brickyard
back.
should be coming back. So should there be some kind of incentive,
Like added
as
incentive.
yeah,
For
added
winning
than
incentive.
just
for
pride.
winning one of them or winning all of them?
I would say
winning
winning
one of
all of them.
Like
I don't-
like you do like a triple crown or a quadruple
So
crown.
you know
in
how
this
like
case?
NASCAR does like the dash for cash. If you
Yeah.
win, like if you win, I guess one of those races,
Yeah,
you
you
get
get
the
100
extra.
grand.
So let's just say NASCAR does something like a dash for cash, and if you win one of those races, you're locked in. No, wait, that wouldn't make sense.
Locked in
I mean,
the way.
we're
You're
locked in.
Yeah,
if
that
you
doesn't
win
make sense
anyway.
because if you win the Daytona 500, you're the only one.
Okay, so you'd have
Daytona.
the only
Daytona.
way
Daytona.
the only way you could do
got
that
the
to me
Daytona
Should there be an
500.
incentive for winning one, multiple, or all?
if you did one for winning all four of them in the same year, it'd have the
Wait,
only
Didn't
thing.
they-
no.
Remember they used to do the.
The only thing
That
that
would
be
never happen.
No,
Remember-
but
remember
like
the
the only
Winston
thing that would be
million?
fair would be going like you're instantly in the final four.
I think the in question.
You're the
No.
fifth champion.
No
I think the
way.
question
You're
implies-
immediately the
I
champion.
think
God.
so. Let them have some kind of clause. If you win all four of these races in a single year,
I don't
you
think
are
that's,
now like the fifth member in the
I
championship.
don't think that's what
board.
Mike was wanting to answer though. He's saying should there be an added incentive for winning one of the races, any of them, any of the crown jewel
I
races,
do think there should.
No, I
Let me,
think you
let
get
me,
enough
let me
money.
take it back.
other than just pride.
Let me take it back. 1985 to 1997, when Winston was the sponsor. If you won 3 out of the 4 crown jewels, you got $1 million bonus.
Yeah,
pretty-
They used to do it. It's called the Winston Million. Bill Elliott won it a couple times. That's why he has the nickname $1 Million Bill.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting.
that makes sense.
But
But
$1 million
I'm just
is
saying,
Jack now.
Well, they'd
It
have
used
to
to
be
be
the
the
I'm just saying, but
$10
You'd have to make it
million.
10 million
that's
or
what it
something.
used to be back in the day. That's the format.
Yeah, so should they bring something of that nature back?
I do think
Or
so.
does
Are
it
you-
just-
are you
here's
talking
my
about-
opinion. Here's my
Oh,
opinion. You
go
make
ahead,
those
Jay.
4 races have just big cash payouts. 500 already does.
I don't think
Yeah.
money makes
So
a
you
difference.
why do you, I think it does.
It would for me.
Texas used to be a huge race because the prize was one of the biggest in all year. And it was a big deal to win Texas because the payday was massive, like a 500. So I think if you have huge payouts, one, the drivers are going to want to win those races more than ever because that affects their wallet, right? That'll make them talk about them 4 races, which will naturally bring up 4 crown jewels and the emphasis on those 4 races.
I just thought of an idea.
I don't think you even have to do.
Sorry,
it would
Jeff.
be cool to bring back the Winston Million.
no, go ahead.
So, what if you get all the bonus points that are awarded for playoffs doubled on the crown jewels?
Ooh.
I was gonna say
You win a
yeah,
crown
I think
jewel
that's
race,
a good
all
one.
your bonus
Point-
points are
I
doubled.
was gonna-
That's
All
interesting.
That's what I'm
points. Wait,
saying.
what about all points?
Nah, I just
No,
do.
I think that'd be
I
too
do
much.
playoff points.
I think if you did all points, it might be too much.
Why? The playoff points are the only ones that matter anyways.
Could you imagine?
Well, that's
what
I
he's
won
saying.
both stages and the race during the Daytona 500, so I'm walking away with like 300 points.
Can you imagine?
It'd be 120. Chill.
Sheesh.
Still,
But still.
no, but something like that where it's
That would
like,
be
okay,
interesting.
now it's like you might see drivers pushing a little harder
That's
there.
a great idea
Dang.
because
DJ.
that's not overpowered to where it's like
You could still come back if someone ahead of
If
you.
you
got
win
that.
all 4, you get 100 playoff points. No.
Oh God!
Jeez.
Why
you
don't just
might
make
as well
him the
just
fifth?
be the fifth member.
Yeah, just make him the fifth car at that point.
Could you imagine if William Byron right now was like plus 120?
Oh my God!
All right.
No, I was
So
gonna
If
say.
you win all 4 crown jewels, you get a 3-lap head start at Phoenix.
Oh my gosh, that's obnoxious.
Sounds like the 2016 All Star.
I'm trying to make this as much like Mario Kart as I can.
That's where the double
Mario.
points came up.
No, I was gonna say something extremely similar. I didn't have that exact idea, but I did say like obviously like stage points are
Extra
doubled
or something.
or like stage points and obviously the playoff points for the stage win and stuff like
Yeah.
that. You know,
I think
Hey,
that's
you
pretty much
know
what I
what'd
was
be
gonna
dope?
say.
What if you paid out full points for the duels?
That'd be so-
They just got
RFK would be
they
so
just got-
far in the lead.
they just got spicy.
real spicy. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know.
It doesn't matter if our 500 car makes it to the 500 as long as we can make up the points in the duel.
I mean, imagine what that would do if you win your duel. You got 20 points, 40 points, however you want to do it.
You get a race win.
Yeah.
You
The
you
duels
get,
actually
say you get
count.
1 playoff point. Oh, playoff berth from the duels. Oh,
Oh, that's obnoxious.
I mean,
Yeah.
that would make it wild.
That
It
would
would.
make it crazy for
So
sure.
1 weekend at
The
Daytona
owners would
have
hate that. We are not junking 5 race cars.
Daytona
Tony
would have
Stewart would love
5
it.
wins.
Tony
in
Stewart
one
would
weekend.
love it.
Or
I
three,
can
I'm
remember.
sorry,
I
three.
can remember one year, years ago, Clint Boyer wrecked like 3 or 4 cars in 1 week.
Jeez.
Sounds like a
The
Clint Boyer
Clash, wrecked in the duels, wrecked in practice, wrecked in the 500.
Oh my God.
Wrecked 4 race cars.
Oh yeah, he was everybody's favorite that weekend.
Clint.
game. It sounds
All right.
like a Stuart Haas thing.
Yeah,
Clint.
kind of. All right, so let's see. Where are we going next week?
Texas.
Texas.
It is Texas. All right, so what do we think, Texas? So what do we think?
It could be good. Hope it's good.
Optimistic
The last
for
one
sure.
wasn't bad. It's getting better. Dale Jr. has a ton of faith in this racetrack. He says leave it alone. Leave it alone. He thinks it's going to
finally
age
aged,
and it's
huh?
going to be really, really good when it ages. He said if anything in turns 1 and 2, pave a middle groove of fresh asphalt, and that'll give you 2 lanes in Texas.
That would be
'Cause
really weird.
You'll have the fast asphalt, which is the fast way around a racetrack, which is the bottom, and you also have the middle of the racetrack, which is where they applied all that PJ1, which ruined it, which is what really screwed up that corner,
That would be weird.
or whatever sealer they put on it that literally stained the racetrack.
Do you get the guns you fire off at the end? Like are those
I
like
think
part
they
of the
quit
prize?
doing that because cancel culture.
Yeah, probably.
That's
I'm like,
lame.
dude, that'd be wild. You win a race, you
Yeah,
get
no,
2
no,
firearms.
You do. You do.
You win Texas, you get 2 ARs. Bah, 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 bah.
What happens to Kyle Busch though?
You can't take him to Mexico. I'll tell you that.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it was the gun he tried to take to Mexico.
Maybe. Has he
Austin-
won at Texas?
I'm really
Austin, let me
glad
grab
that
one
I'm
of
the
those.
only one that caught that.
Can't go to Mexico.
Can't go
No.
to Mexico with him.
No.
Yes.
No, I was thinking because like he's been arrested, so like I don't think he would pass the background check.
I don't think he got charged.
I don't know.
I
Did
don't
he get
know. I don't know how that works, but
get-
Listen, you're not KFB
a felon?
KFB, yeah.
Does the KFB and
so
You mean
Can you
felon?
race a NASCAR?
so
if you're a
Kuzman, have
felon?
we been working
Kyle Felon
on
Busch?
have we been working on making our ideal NASCAR schedule yet? Yes, it's in here.
Oh, I
And
kinda
that's the
forgot about it.
problem.
Let's do that
We-
next
we
week.
never have done
Oh, I'm treating that just like my schoolwork and not going to do it until the night before.
Let's do something. Let's do that next week. Let's
Next
do that
week?
in because Texas. I
Next
mean, it could be
week.
a snoozer.
It could be.
I don't know.
So
I
we're-
think we
we're-
need to. We
are
need
we
to save
all
something for
going to create
off-season.
our own? Is that
Yeah.
what
Bring
the
your own
thing is?
schedule. Bring your own.
We need
Bring
to-
your own schedule.
No, we need to save something for
BYOF,
off season.
Bring your own schedule. What?
We gotta
want-
save something for off season.
Yeah, but we're not
We'll do
going to do
something.
like stuff on every off season
Yeah, but
week.
at
Yeah.
that point, the schedule. We should see the schedule in the next week or 2.
So maybe we should do
That's
it.
what I hear.
We should do it next week then.
I think we should. Let's have it ready.
Okay,
For
so let's
next
try to do
week.
it next
Or
week.
or we could wait for the schedule and then make our edits.
Let's just try for it next week,
Okay.
and then that way at least they're done, and then we can always release them the week that the
How many
schedule comes out.
Poconos can I put?
How many do you want?
36.
It's not that good.
Not 36
You haven't
races.
seen 36 Poconos.
All
Same
back to back
cars.
days, 36 days straight. The month of Pocono. You can only race there 6 weeks out of the year.
Matt's gonna be over and be like, okay, we
The
do
rest
the
of the time
we do
it's
the
either-
24 hours at Pocono. We just turn it into an endurance race.
I mean, hey,
Instead of track dryers, you got track heaters. Just flames, just melting the snow.
Yes, perfect. All right. So Kuzman, we'll work on that and hope maybe we'll have that next week, maybe not. But we are. I know I have been working on it, so I don't know.
I'm about halfway done.
Yeah, I don't.
are you?
Really?
Yeah, actually been
I
working.
feel
on
like
it.
you haven't started.
I started.
You're lying.
Oh, I got it.
This man's like,
Oh,
I
in your
started
brain-
it
brain?
in my head.
Mine's pretty close. I mean, it'd be pretty close to what it is now.
That's
Why
like
are
me
you
saying
playing on my
like
phone?
that's
I,
like me
I actually
saying
pressed the button. I was trying to like get it back, but your phone is weird.
that's like me saying, oh, like have you started your paper yet? Oh, well, I have it up here. I have it up here. It's the
That's
same
where it
thing.
starts.
I mean, it is something.
I haven't put a single letter down, but I'm about halfway done.
It's coming
Mentally.
together. It's coming together really
Sounds like
good.
It's all coming together.
All right, guys. So it's been fun, but obviously we got to get. So we will see you guys next week after Texas. Maybe we'll talk schedules. Maybe we won't. But hey, we'll see you next week either way. See ya.